Orale! What's up, homies? If you love Jordan Peterson and think he's the smartest man alive, then get ready to have some sand thrown into your vagina. So let's get started.
Pick your poison. That's the choice life offers. I am weary of living under the increasingly authoritarian dictates of a polity hyper-concerned with one risk and oblivious to all others. And things are shaking around us. Enough, Canadians. Enough, Canadian politicos. Enough masks. Enough social gathering limitations. Enough restaurant closures. Enough undermining of political and social trust.
Mwah! Mwah! Is someone mad they can't get their speaking fees? Maybe you should get yourself vaxxed if you aren't. Have some fucking respect for the health of others, Doc. Not everything is about your freedom to choose. Sometimes it's about everybody's right to fucking live. Or maybe you shouldn't have resigned your tenured professorship during the pandemic, huh? Or were you pressured to leave? In either case, the University of Toronto is better off for it. Someone should remind Jordan that empires rise and fall, that it's inevitable that human beings are going to wreck the shit that they build only to rebuild it and then wreck it again. That's just how humans do, Jordan.
Make the bloody vaccines available to those who want them. Quit using force to ensure compliance on the part of those who don't. Some of the latter might be crazy, but by and large, they're no crazier than the rest of us. Set a date. Open the damn country back up before we wreck something we can't fix.
Jordan Peterson is one of those academics that after getting a doctorate feel like they are the authority on everything known to mankind. They walk around like they're God incarnate, giving human beings all the answers to all of their stupid questions. I don't give a shit if he has a doctorate in psychology or whatever the fuck it's in. I don't care enough to know, but he's quickly letting it get to his head. I mean, this motherfucker has an opinion on everything, from economics to the size of your dick and what you should be doing with it. He's crossed over into Ben Carson territory.
My own personal theory is that Joseph built the pyramids in order to store grain. Now, all the archaeologists think that they were made for the pharaoh's graves.
Yeah, grain silos. Because fuck what archaeologists say. What the fuck do they know? Just because it's their job to study the pyramids doesn't mean they're the fucking experts, right? That man used to be a brain surgeon. Clearly, Egyptology is not in his fucking wheelhouse, is it? Well, Jordan Peterson is a category of motherfucker. You're not a fucking genius, stay in your own fucking lane territory.
That's because there's no such thing as climate, right?
I'm sorry, what? No such thing as climate?
Climate and everything are the same word.
Climate and everything are not the same fucking word. Climate is the long-term pattern of weather in an area, typically averaged over a period of 30 years. More rigorously, it is the mean and variability of meteorological variables over a time spanning from months to millions of years. Everything means all things. Climate has a pretty specific fucking definition, whereas everything is a pretty broad and all-encompassing term. But I'll play your silly little game. Go on!
And that's what bothers me about the climate change type.
Climate change types? What the fuck does that mean? Jordan? Are we talking about climatologists whose job it is to study the climate? Are we talking about the average person who is concerned about the climate? Who are we talking about, Jordan? Can we get some clarity, or should we just give your ambiguity a hand job?
It's like, this is something that bothers me about it technically. It's like, well, climate is about everything. So, okay. But your models aren't based on everything. Your models are based on a
Warming.
set number of variables.
Yeah.
So that means you've reduced the variables, which are everything, to that set. Well, how did you decide which set of variables to include in the equation if it's about everything? And that's not just a criticism. That's like, if it's about everything, your models aren't right. Because your models do not and cannot model everything.
What do you mean by everything when you say?
Well,
models?
but that's what people who talk about the climate apocalypse claim in some sense. We have to change everything. It's like, everything, eh?
Again, no specificity. I see a lot of vague assumptions with no specific examples of what the fuck Jordan is talking about. What fucking variables are we talking about here? Am I supposed to just fucking guess? I'm not a mind reader, Jordan. I don't understand what specific fucking variables are fucking bothering you. So there's no way of really knowing what actually bothers you, technically, if you don't specify what technicalities you are talking about.
Okay, and the same with the word environment. That word doesn't mean, it means so much that it actually doesn't mean anything.
I'm sorry, what? Environment means the surroundings or conditions in which a person, animal, or planet lives or operates. I mean, I'm not a smart cartoon, but I would imagine that the climate greatly affects the environment. If it rains too much in a dry environment, you're gonna get flooding. Again, environment has a pretty specific fucking meaning, Jordan.
Like when you say everything, in a sense, that's meaningless, right? Because, well, what are you pointing to? Well, I'm pointing to everything. Well, what's the difference between the environment and everything?
What's the difference? Well, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but we live on a fucking planet circling around a hot flaming ball of gas in a giant endless fucking void with nowhere else to fucking go. So yeah, when we point to the environment, we are pointing to everything, you fucking moron.
There's no difference. What's the difference between climate and everything? Well, there's no difference. So this is a crisis of everything? It's like, no, it's not. Or if it is, well, if it really is, then we're done, because we can't fix everything.
Well, at least you got one thing fucking right.
There is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Difference. The planet is fine.
Alright, you know the deal. There's links in the description. Like and subscribe, and check out our other videos. Until next time, homies. Peace.